Number 2. Sounds can be gestures.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brendan Fitzgerald, and I work with a whole big group of musicians. This is not all of them, but we work together to make cool new art happen, and you guys are going to be a part of that, and I'm really, really excited. This is my friend Ethan.
Hi.
He's going to be singing today and helping with our instruction here. This is my friend Nick. He's sitting behind the piano.
Hi, Nick.
And I want to let you know that I know you guys have been so excited about what's happening and what this thing's going to be, right? Because maybe you've never composed a piece of music. In fact, if you've never composed a piece of music, raise your hand. If you've never composed a piece of music, you can raise your hand. That looks like pretty much everybody in the room. Raise your hand if you've ever made music with a group. Raise your hand if you've ever made music with a group.
Oh, I didn't make it, but I was.
Maybe you were maybe you were singing.
I actually have done that conversation. I performed with a couple of percussionists, and I am a percussionist.
Excellent, excellent. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you've ever written music for professional musicians. No, probably nobody. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, maybe. Raise your hand if you ever performed at a concert.
Won't you start me making notes?
Back in middle school, that counts. I like it. Sure, yeah. Of course, poetry absolutely counts. Yeah. Raise your hand if you know the following terms. These are musical terms. Maybe you've seen them at some point in your life. If you've ever heard the term staff. Yes, you've heard the term staff before. Not like the wonderful people who work here, but it's where we write our music. It's lines and spaces. Who said that? Lines and spaces, my man. Little bit of music. Awesome.
I've been surrounded by music my entire life.
Beautiful. Raise your hand if you know the word pitch. Raise your hand if you know the word pitch.
Different sounds.
Exactly.
Yep.
Raise your hand. Ooh, this is a tough one. But we're going to learn about this. That's why we're here. Raise your hand if you know about the word timbre. Ooh, timbre. That's a tricky one. We're going to talk about timbre as well. By the end of today, you will be composing music for us. By the end of today, I promise you. So the very first thing that we can talk about, I want to introduce the instruments a little bit. You guys have probably seen these instruments.
Yep.
We're going to be writing for some different ones, and we'll talk about those a little bit later. But this is my electric guitar here. It's got 6 strings, and it uses these cool magnets right here to help me make some sound. And I can change the sound of my instrument quite a bit. Right? Heavy metal, rock and roll music. We can play all these different kind of styles. This is probably an instrument we've seen the most of. You guys probably see this a lot. Ethan is a vocalist. He uses his voice in lots of interesting ways, right? Ethan, do you want to give us some examples of kind of normal singing and then maybe some other stuff?
So you've probably seen singers, maybe classical music singers, who go up on the stage and they go like, so that would be sort of traditional singing. But then I use my voice in that way. I sing traditional notes and melodies, but I also do all sorts of other things with my voice. So I might shout. I might do music that goes, or I might make quiet sounds with my mouth. Sounds like, or I might make sounds with my saliva. And I can put all these sounds together. So that's what I do as a singer.
Thank you. And we'll take a quick visit to the piano here. Actually, I bet you Nick probably knows some pieces that you might know, and maybe he'll play some stuff that he would like to play for you. But when we think about how music gets written down, we think about that staff, right? We think about the lines and spaces and kind of...
Like this?
That's a great example. Can everyone see that? Show the whole group here. Let me show everybody. I'll show the whole class. Sometimes we think of stuff like this when people tell us about music, right? Lines and the dots and the note heads. This is an excellent example of kind of what we normally think of when we have musicians reading music. This is great. Thank you. Nick, could you play maybe a piece that sounds kind of like normal music? Normal music? Whatever normal is. We're still trying to figure that out. Nick, please.
Elevator music.
I can find normal. There you go, a lake one. Do this.
Thank you. What great playing.
Yeah.
Really, what wonderful playing. So, we're used to kind of seeing notes and rhythms written in a certain way, but today we're going to talk about exactly how you can communicate with musicians with the things that you guys already know how to do. The things that you guys kind of already know about, the colors and the shapes and how to use your colored pencils and how to use your markers and your paints, right?